one people, and we share one faith. Whether we are black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood. We all salute the same great American flag. And we are all made by the same Almighty God.
Trump saved my life, literally. My dad and my mom passed at the same time. I was in a bad place. I was going towards the Brooklyn Bridge. Don't ask me why, but I was. Donald Trump was standing on 97th Street in Broadway. He was at a friend's birthday party. And when he saw me coming past, I was hysterical in tears. And he gently grabbed my arm. He was like, whoa, wait a minute, are you okay? And he said, well, I don't know what you're gonna do right now, but whatever it is, forget about it. Take it out of your head. Your mom and dad wouldn't want that. And he talked to me till I forgot all about what I was gonna do. So he said, let me pray for you. So when I went to get my keys out of my pocket, and I opened my hand, he had placed a folded up, real small, folded up $100 bill in my hand. I framed it, literally, and this is a true story. He saved my life. Yeah, he did. So anybody that has anything bad to say about Trump, did it, because he's a good man.
Is Trump a racist?
I don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check. But they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, this is what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement? I said, yeah. And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business. He didn't have any problem with dating a black woman, walking her down red carpets. Most people don't know this. He was the finance man behind Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
Wow.
The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse, and I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, no, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about? And when I insisted, he said, prove it. So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. And I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
She's beautiful, and you are beautiful. Okay? I'm not allowed to say that, that could be the end of my political career, but I say it anyway. But you are beautiful, and you're beautiful inside. So I wish I had more reporters like you. So you covered Africa for a long time?
Yeah.
what Donald Trump did for black people this week. So Donald Trump decided that he was going to get rid of HB1 visas for basically medical students. So if a kid comes to college here and wants to do a residency, they need an HB1 visa, which used to be super cheap, but now they're super expensive. So no college is going to pay for that to have a resident. But Donald Trump also just got rid of affirmative action in the selection of students for colleges. So now all of these HB1 visa spots are going to go back to the black students you just tried to get rid of. So in 20 years, when black women are the majority of medical doctors instead of Asian men, just know it was because Donald Trump's racism was so bad that he basically made it almost impossible for colleges not to have to accept black people again, because they need to fill the spots that HB1 visas took. And there aren't enough people who want to be doctors here to ignore all the black women ready to be doctors here. So thanks, Don, for, as usual, missing the whole point.
Let's go through a list of some of the positive things Donald Trump has done for black Americans. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I think he's better than the fucking Democrats. Number 1, got me this job. Number 2, wants to get rid of property taxes. Number 3, he acknowledges black Americans exist. The Democrats never even mention black Americans or say African American or black American. They mix us in with minorities and immigrants. Number 4, he's our best bet for reparations. Number 5, he said on live television that black Americans built America. Number 6, he's against illegal immigration, because the illegal immigrants come here and take black American jobs. Before people were working as gardeners, before people were working as hotel maids and all that, that was black Americans from like the 1800s up until the 1970s. For over 200 years, that was purely black Americans doing those jobs.
It sounds crazy, but when I watch what Trump do, and I go back and I look at real facts about how this man went to court every single day with Michael Jackson, how him and Don King was super, super cool, how this man was on the Wu-Tang Clan album, how when Jennifer Hudson's family was murdered, he put them up in Trump Tower for 6 months, protected them, didn't charge them a dime, how he sent his private jet to go get Nelson Mandela out of prison, how he gave Rainbow Push and Jesse Jackson $1 million to get started, to get activated in the black community, how he gave me and Kwame Kilpatrick pardons to restart. I hear what people say and I watch what they do. I hear people saying they mad about Trump about the Central Park 5, and I get that. But then I know Trump passed the First Step Act, which done freed close to 20,000 people to this day, including Big Meech getting out on some of that sentencing reduction. That ain't got nothing to do with Kamala though. That's Trump in the First Step Act. But then I hear what Biden's saying, but I know Biden responsible for the 94 crime bill and the crack cocaine disparity, the thing that took all the real niggas off the streets. This is what Trump's First Step Act was in retrospect to that. Trump's First Step Act overturned that 94 crime bill. That's why we see all the real ones come home. That's why we stuck with a generation of Lil Nas X.
Chills on my back right now.
All of this was strategic. Wipe all the real men off the street. Push this agenda. Because if the real men were in the home, we wouldn't see this like this. So you watched your mama be this pillar of strength. You modeling behavior, go back to psychology. And then we watching agendas on TV. Unfortunately, the Democrat Party of the day ain't the same Democrat Party that grandma done raised us on. A lot of us is Democrat because that's what grandma done was on. We're gonna be honest. We don't even know why we Democrat. That's just what we on, because we black. Grandma done said it. The policies have changed. Times have changed.
Did they not forget in 1991 what you did with Nelson Mandela?
Yeah.
Would you care to share that?
I never talk about it.
No, you do not.
I don't think it's a narrative the press likes.
Nelson Mandela and 80 of his constituents were trying to come to the United States. The United States government wasn't helping him. No one was helping him. You chartered a 727 plane for their entire trip. And it's crazy because you can talk about anything. Why is it hard for you to talk about the things you've done?
It's something that I love doing it. I don't need praise for it. I don't. We all like a certain level of praise, but I just like helping people.
You donated $100,000 to raise dogs. You're not even a dog guy.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Well, that's Lara. So I have the wife of Eric. She loves the dogs, and I did that in her honor, actually. And if you listen to her, boy, dogs are treated very badly. Some evil people. So I did that for my daughter-in-law, more so than me. I don't know that much about dogs, but I want to take care of them. And I had an opportunity. You know, as president, you can do a lot of things. And she's a good person, so I did it for her. Black patriots fought and bled on the battlefields of the American Revolution. And they really did. When you read the history, what they gave up, they gave everything to smash the chains of slavery and preserve our nation. And they did it with incredible bravery. They helped win the Wild West, tame the skies, and save freedom in the Second World War. They're warriors. From the very beginning, Black Americans have been a vital part of the American story, helping to make this the greatest nation in the history of the world. So true. Thank you. We thank you. We thank you for.
So, Donald Trump is so racist that as president, he did this for this young man. Just watch and listen.
Hello, President Trump. I would like to ask you to please release my dad from prison. I know that he made a huge mistake, and he really looks back on his mistake and regrets it, and I feel like he'll never do it again. My dad's been in my life ever since I was young, and we have a great relationship. He's been helping me every step of the way. He helps me and my friends. He taught me right from wrong. He does a lot for me that some parents don't even do, and he's incarcerated. So I would just please want you to release my father from prison. Thank you.
This moment was 16 years in the making. Charles Duke Tanner embracing his 18-year-old son.
Boy, man.
Tanner, who is 38, grew up in Gary, Indiana. He was an undefeated light heavyweight boxer and hoped to go pro. He had never been arrested until he was accused of leading a local gang that sold drugs. He was convicted in 2006 of conspiracy to distribute. Tanner received 2 life sentences that was eventually reduced to 1.
First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and glory to God. Thank you for hearing me. But President Trump, I just want to thank you for giving me a second chance and believing in me and reading my petition. I'm just so thankful. It's just 20 years ago, I fought at the Trump Casino, and now you signed to give me clemency. First, I didn't know it was real until I was able to bring and touch this little guy right here. I left him when he was 2 years old, President Trump. You reunited me back to my family. I lost my mother and my father, but I got him. And this is what I live for. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, all praise and glory go to God. Thank you.
My name is Charles Duke Tanner, and I was sentenced to a double life sentence for my first arrest for a nonviolent drug offense in 2004. I lost all my appeals, and I was denied clemency by the Obama administration. It took 16 plus years before President Trump granted my clemency and allowed me to go home in 2020. I was a part of a broken and unjust system. And now it hurts me to the core to see the same system going after a former president. This is what blacks been going through since day one. If we allow this to happen to the former president, we can only imagine what's going to happen to the rest of the country. Please stand up now if you have a voice, and let's fight against this. God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, let me get this straight. He was denied clemency by this one. This one granted him clemency, but he is racist and he is bad for minority and for this country. It's 2024, and with all due respect, if you still believe that Donald Trump is bad for this country, you've been brainwashed and you need to wake up.
You know, folks, I'm really beginning to think that DJT may not exactly be all that he was hyped up to be. I mean, I was sold on the idea that I was getting a purebred, thorough, old school racist. You get what I'm saying? The type of racist where you didn't even have to question it. You didn't have to ask, is this guy really, is he really down? Or is he just, you know what I mean? Is he like racism light? Because here we have DJT in his second term circling back to take care of the HBCUs, the historically black colleges. Now, not only has he signed an executive order that is going to make sure that the success of these HBCUs continues, but he actually has that order breaking down exact ways in which HBCUs will be expanded, they will continue to get funding, and they will continue to get taken care of. Now imagine that. For the 92% of black women and the 80% of black men who voted against Trump, I'm sorry, we were told that we were going to get a real racist. And when I voted for him as a sellout, I thought that I was going to get a real racist. So it looks like we're both maybe disappointed in this.
President Trump is not a racist. I've been with the president recently quite a bit, and when he signed the legislation making the historic site, Martin Luther King site in Atlanta, Georgia, a national park, it was introduced by Congressman John Lewis, and that, believe it or not, that's one thing the two of them did together. It took two to do it, and I'm so glad the president has done it. But what is so outrageous, to call a man a racist who continues to acknowledge the significant work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., my uncle, in a positive way. And he puts his money where his mouth is. He puts his energy behind.
So smart, so sharp. She grabbed me. She gave me a kiss. I said, I think I'm never going back home to the First Lady.
You were supposed to keep that quiet.
See, now, for the average politician, that's death. For me, I don't care. I just want to tell you, you are an unbelievable person with a great personality. You lit up the whole room. You lit up the whole room. I said, weeks later, I'd go, who is that person that was so incredible? She knew everything about me. She had no idea I was coming. She knew everything about me. And you know, the historically black colleges and universities, I gave millions and millions, billions of dollars to. They kept coming back, and I said, why are you doing this? And we gave them long-term funding. And she knew that because she said her college, which was, she loved her college. She said it was so great, right? You loved it.
The illustrious CAU.
Yeah, that's right. She loved her college, and she said, you saved my college. What was your college? Tell them.
The illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
And it was so impressive, and I felt so good, because she really did. She really said, I said, did you like the college? She said, no, I loved that school. I loved that college. And that's what it's all about. But you are an incredible person. I think you have a tremendous future. I really do. Thank you. And I'll do whatever I can to help you. Okay? Thank you, Dad. Thank you very much. Great job. You want to say something else?
Man, you know, I thought I was done. But I do want to add on to some of the remarks that were made by others, and we do need to do our best to get the message out there. The fight is nothing if all we do is talk about it amongst ourselves. So with that being said, since you said you'd help me, shameless plug, if y'all need anybody to knock doors, make phone calls, wave signs, get people out to the polls, call me at Conserve the Culture. Because not only do I mobilize the HBCU students so that they may get this message, but I'm the best person when it comes to black engagement in the black community. And nobody needs this message more than my folks. So do y'all care for real? Are y'all with us for real?